I will go green for 500 miles, 500 laps around Dover Downs. And you'll be riding along today inside 3 of these Winston Cup cars with our TNN in-car cameras. As we look at the field one more time up at turn number 3. Running there right behind Dale Earnhardt. That's the Hut Strickland car. The Bobby Allison Buick. Coming around, and you'll see him face the green flag. Staff Sergeant Lawrence Kirby from the nearby Dover Air Force Base puts them under green. And it's Mike Waltrip on the brake from Rusty Wallace. That's inside Hut Strickland's car as he duels Ricky Rudd.
Looks like Mikey's going to lead that first lap. Ernie Irvin up on the high side. We haven't seen many cars able to run up on the high side this weekend.
Watching from Davey Allison's car as he runs along with Earnhardt and Ernie Irvin.
Michael told me, he said, this may not be a storybook start, but I'm going to be leading on the first lap.
Okay. He did just that. Give the first lap to Mike Waltrip. And now you're with Ricky Rudd, running right behind Davey Allison. Tight pack of cars, and you see how quickly they go to single file here. Now there's Irvin dropping inside the Rick Wilson car. As on the short track at Martinsville, you pass here going inside and a little bump and thump.
Rick Wilson didn't want to be too far outside, so they got awfully close together.
Mike Waltrip leading. Kenny Wallace drifting way back in the field in the Felix Sabates car.
It's not that the car is running bad. He just got on the outside groove there, and it's much slower, and you just go right to the rear if you can't get back in line.
You know, the race we watched yesterday, Mike, I've never seen a second groove not worked in like yesterday. I mean, yesterday it was basically a one-groove racetrack the entire race. Hopefully today they can get a second groove worked in so we can see some good side-by-side racing.
They have completely resealed the asphalt here at Dover Downs, and they've got that low groove worked in. With plenty of practice here over the 3 days, but there have not been that many drivers racing in the upper groove, and nobody has been up in the Harry Gant groove this weekend, at least not by choice.
I don't think we'll see anybody in the Harry Grant groove today unless they're in big trouble.
Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Ford at the front of the field, running just about the way they qualified. Mike Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, Rick Mast in 3rd, Alan Kulwicki in 4th.
Got Dale Earnhardt taking a look inside here again. There he is.
That's for 6th place, and hello, how are you? Earnhardt to 6th, Ernie Irvin to 7th. That'll drop Gant, who came within about 15 laps of winning yesterday, back to 7th. Make that 8th place for Harry Gant, just ahead of Davey Allison. There's a look at Harry from the in-car camera in Davey Allison's car.
You know what this reminds me of, Phil? It's like Talladega without the draft. You see the guys in the groove, and the guy gets out, he goes straight to the back.
Exactly.
And to me, it reminds me of Martinsville twice as big. Because if you don't run down on the bottom, you're not running anywhere. You're going right to the back.
See, Harry looks like he's either a little bit too tight or he's trying to work in a second groove.
If there's a way to get to the top of the racetrack here, Harry Gant will be the one to find it.
Well.
7 laps in. Mike Waltrip leading Rusty Wallace. They've got about 2 car lengths on the Rick Mast Alan Kulwicki battle. Mark Martin has now moved up into the 5th spot. In 6th is Earnhardt, 7th is Irvin, 8th is Gant, 9th Allison, and 10th Rudd.
I'll tell you, Mike, I talked to several of the crew chiefs this morning, and they said look out for that 6th car, Mark Martin. They said he was the fastest car here yesterday afternoon.
He's pulled right up on the deck of Alan Kulwicki in the Hooters Ford. Here's Kulwicki going after Rick Mast. Kulwicki's been fast coming out of the corner each time there in the backstretch, but Mast seems to have the measure of him at the end of the straightaway. That race is for 3rd on back. Mast in the number 1 car in 3rd. Rusty scooting up the racetrack a little bit. And he is right back into that battle. Earnhardt on the inside. There's Davey Allison's lost touch with that group. The battle is just ahead of him for 2nd on back.
Well, Dale Earnhardt was able to get by Mark Martin, and he took, I think, Davey Allison with him, or Ernie Irvin with him.
Kulwicki tries the bottom again on Rick Mast, and nothing there. Nothing but Earnhardt filling up his rearview mirror.
You know what I see? Earnhardt drives so hard off into the corner. He's making his move before he gets to the corner on the bottom side, so he keeps that track position.
Earnhardt in 4th place. Now Rusty's open. He gained back a little ground on Rick Mast there at 2nd position.
I think he just slipped in that corner. He got up a little bit high, a little bit out of the groove, and he just lost that much ground. Now he's able to take away from Rick Mast again and try to catch Michael Walker. Here's Alan Kulwicki on the inside of Rick Mast for 3rd.
Kulwicki is finally going for it and makes the pass.
Look who's with him.
Here's Earnhardt trying to get under Kulwicki.
Side by side.
There's not much love lost between these two. They've had a couple of on-track.
Kulwicki wanted the inside line there, as you could tell, Mike.
And he insisted on it. He's one fellow Earnhardt doesn't much intimidate.
Now Dale Earnhardt passing on the outside.
Well, in 3 days of racing and practice, I don't think we've seen anybody passing on the outside, and Earnhardt makes it work.
You know he's fun to watch.
Absolutely. That moves Earnhardt up to 3rd. Behind Mike Waltrip and Rusty Wallace. He's about 3 seconds back of the lead duo as we ride with Davey Allison. Davey, you hear him back in the throttle and then feather it a bit right on the bottom of turn 4.
It's a very, very sharp exit to that corner. The unique part about this racetrack is when you get in trouble coming off the corner, it really happens in the middle of the corner. And that's where experience comes in. In the middle of the corner, if you realize you got trouble, then you squeeze back out of the throttle to get the car settled down. The people without experience don't know enough to do that, and they're really in trouble when they come off the corner.
Mike Waltrip and Rusty Wallace now lead Earnhardt by about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing they kind of broke up that dog fight they were having in that second group, or Mike Waltrip and them would have been gone. I'm telling you, when you race side by side, you can close up in a hurry. I mean, they just drive away from you.
Rusty keeps trying the Pennzoil Pontiac. Tire smoke out of Waltrip. There's Rusty.
I think that tire smoke, Mike, is just from that sealer, because they haven't worn much of that sealer off. You saw Michael there back off and let Rusty go down the corner because Rusty had the bottom, and that's definitely the way to go through turn 1, at least right now.
Nobody's told Earnhardt that. He's just passing when he gets to him.
So at 16 laps, the lead changes hands. From Wallace, Mike Waltrip in 2nd. Lapping J.D. McDuffie. Dale Earnhardt in 3rd now, closing in on the lead duo. Alan Kulwicki in 4th, Ernie Irvin in 5th. Mark Martin running behind Irvin, then Harry Gant, then Rick Mast. Davey Allison in 9th, Hut Strickland in 10th. Rick Wilson.